On December 18th, 2022, football witnessed one of the greatest matches ever played. Argentina, France, 3-3 after 120 minutes. Then came the penalty shootout. Millions held their breath. Messi scored. Mbappé scored. Argentina didn't blink until Gonzalo Montiel stepped up for the winning penalty. In our world, he scored. Argentina became world champions. Messi completed football. But what if he didn't? Imagine Montiel's shot crashing against the post. Silence. French players explode with life. One more penalty, one more chance. Now it's France's turn. They score. Argentina suddenly aren't champions anymore. They're hanging by a thread. The pressure is unbearable. Argentina misses again. And just like that, if France are back-to-back World Cup champions, Mbappé collapses to his knees. The French bench storms the pitch. The stadium erupts. Meanwhile, Messi just stands there. No celebration, no tears of joy, just disbelief, because after 17 years of chasing the one trophy that always escaped him, it slipped away again. Football history changes forever. The images that became iconic, the one of Messi lifting the World Cup, the celebrations in Buenos Aires, millions of Argentinians filling the streets, none of them ever happen. Instead, the headlines write themselves. Messi loses another World Cup final. Mbappé saves France. Is Messi still the greatest without a World Cup? The debate that finally seemed over comes roaring back. For years, one argument followed Messi everywhere. He never won the World Cup. In reality, he silenced that forever. But in this timeline, that criticism becomes louder than ever. Every TV show, every podcast, every football fan is arguing about one question. Can you really be the greatest player ever if you never won football's biggest prize? And while Messi's legacy is suddenly questioned, someone else's explodes. Because Kylian Mbappé doesn't just win the World Cup. He does something almost impossible. He scores a hat trick in the final, then wins the trophy. At just 23 years old, people begin asking a different question. Are we witnessing the next football king? The comparisons with Pelé become unavoidable. 2 World Cups before turning 24, a legendary final performance, back-to-back world champion. Suddenly, the future doesn't belong to Messi or Ronaldo anymore. It belongs to Mbappé. And this is only the beginning. Because the biggest change wasn't what happened that night, it was everything that came after. But losing the World Cup wouldn't just change how people remembered Messi. It could change the rest of his career. In reality, winning the World Cup finally lifted the weight he'd carried since he was a teenager. Every international final he'd lost, every comparison to Diego Maradona, every joke about Argentina failing when it mattered most, it all disappeared in one night, but not here. Instead, Messi enters 2023 carrying the biggest heartbreak of his career. Maybe he still wins the Ballon d'Or after an incredible World Cup. Maybe he doesn't. Without lifting the trophy that mattered most, the conversation becomes much closer. Every vote would be debated. Every headline would ask the same question. Can you really win football's highest individual award after losing the biggest match of your life? And then there's Argentina. Instead of returning home as national heroes, they return carrying unimaginable disappointment. Think about it. This wasn't just another final. Argentina had waited 36 years. Millions believed destiny was finally on their side. To lose after leading, to lose after Messi scored twice, to lose after coming within one penalty of glory. That pain would live with an entire generation of fans. Players like Angel Di Maria, Nicolas Otamendi, and Lionel Messi may never get another chance. For some of them, this would become the greatest what-if in football history. Meanwhile, France enters an entirely different era. Back-to-back World Cups, something no nation had achieved in over 60 years. Didier Deschamps is no longer just one of France's greatest managers. He's suddenly in the conversation as one of the greatest international coaches ever. And then there's Kylian Mbappé. Forget future Ballon d'Or winner. Forget future superstar. But here's where this timeline becomes really interesting. Because even if Messi never won the World Cup, would he suddenly become a worse player? Of course not. His goals, his assists, his dribbling, his 8 Ballon d'Or, none of that disappears. The only thing that changes is the way people judge greatness. Football has always loved simple stories. Win the World Cup, you're immortal. Lose it. People remember what you didn't achieve more than everything you did. And one of the greatest football matches ever witnessed, the difference between the perfect ending and football's biggest heartbreak, was just one penalty.